I choose to follow my dream despite my family's objection. My life has always been a series of expectations laid out by my traditional family. My father, a renowned architect, and my mother, a successful investment banker, had meticulously mapped out my older brothers and my future. Our family valued discipline, prestige, and success above all else. My brother embraced his path in law, making his way to becoming a top lawyer in the city. But deep down, I longed for something different, something that would ignite my spirit. Ever since I was a child, music has been my escape. From the first moment I plucked the strings of a guitar, I knew that this was where I belonged. I spent countless hours locked in my room, composing melodies, writing lyrics, and dreaming of a life on stage, pouring my heart out to the world. I knew I wanted to be a musician, but I feared my family's reaction. One evening at dinner, as we all gathered around the table, I mustered the courage to share my dreams with my family. The conversation had steered towards my future, and I saw this as my chance. "Mom, Dad, I've given it a lot of thought," I began, hesitantly, trying to gauge their reactions. "I know you have high expectations for me and want me to follow in your footsteps, but I really believe my passion lies in music." The atmosphere in the room became quiet. My parents exchanged a concerned look before my father responded, his voice stern and disapproving. "Music? That's not a stable career choice. You need to focus on a profession that will provide you with financial security and a respectable life." My mother added, attempting to be more understanding, "Darling, we know you love music, but it's not practical. It's fine as a hobby, but you need to think about your future." I could feel my frustration mounting. "But this isn't just a hobby for me. It's my dream. I genuinely believe I can make a career out of it." My brother scoffed, "You're being naive. You need to face reality and accept the responsibilities that come with it. The world doesn't cater to your dreams." I clenched my fists, trying to keep my composure. "Why can't any of you see how much this means to me? I need your support and understanding, not criticism." My father's voice thundered through the room, "Enough. We've let you entertain this fantasy for far too long. It's time you put this nonsense aside and concentrate on a real career." The conversation ended there, the silence in the room suffocating my dreams. It was evident that my family couldn't see the potential I saw in myself, nor could they understand my passion for music, and that is more than just heart-wrenching, it's killing me inside. Despite my family's lack of support, I continued to nurture my passion for music. In the weeks that followed, I spent more time honing my skills and writing songs, seeking solace in the one thing that truly made me happy. My heart ached, knowing that my family couldn't see the fire that burned within me, but their disapproval only drove me to work harder. One afternoon, I received an email from the local music festival, informing me that I had been selected to perform in the upcoming event. My heart leaped with excitement, but at the same time, I dreaded sharing the news with my family, fearing their response. However, I knew I couldn't keep it a secret, so I decided to bring it up at dinner that night. "Mom, Dad, I have some news I'd like to share," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I was selected to perform at the local music festival. "It's a great opportunity for me." My father's expression soured immediately. "You're still wasting your time on this music nonsense? I thought we made it clear that you need to focus on your future, not on this foolish hobby." My mother frowned, her voice laced with disappointment. "We thought you had come to your senses, but it seems we were wrong. You need to prioritize your education and career, not some fleeting fantasy." I could feel the frustration bubbling inside me. This isn't just a hobby, and it's not a fantasy. This is my passion, and I've worked hard to get this opportunity. I need you to believe in me, just this once. My brother chimed in, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Do you really think playing at some local festival is going to make you a successful musician? Wake up and face reality. You're setting yourself up for failure. I stared at my family, my heart aching with the weight of their disapproval. But I refused to let them dampen my spirits. I'm going to perform at the festival, whether you support me or not. I believe in myself, even if none of you do. My father's face turned red with anger. If you choose to go down this path, don't expect any support from us. We will not stand by and watch you throw your life away. And so, my decision was made. I knew that pursuing my dream would come at a great cost, but I was willing to take that risk. With or without my family's support, I want to make a name for myself in the world of music, proving to them and myself that I could succeed on my own terms. With that in mind, I decided to move out of our house and rented a small but affordable apartment so I can fully focus on my music. As the day of the music festival approached, I felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. I knew that my family would not be there to cheer me on, but I refused to let that dampen my spirits. I practiced relentlessly, pouring my heart and soul into every note and lyric. I felt more alive than ever, knowing that I was finally taking the first step towards my dream. The day of the festival arrived, and the air was filled with electricity. The vibrant colors, the sound of laughter, and the energy of the crowd fueled the excitement in me. As I stepped onto the stage, my heart pounded in my chest, but I took a deep breath and began to play. The music flowed through me, each note resonating with the audience. I could see their faces light up as I sang, their eyes filled with appreciation and understanding. In that moment, I knew that I had made the right decision, even if it meant going against my family's wishes. As the last note rang out, the crowd erupted into applause. I couldn't help but smile, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment that I had never experienced before. As I left the stage, I was greeted by fellow musicians and fans, all congratulating me on my performance. One of the festival organizers approached me, a wide grin on her face. That was an incredible performance. I can't believe this is your first time performing on stage. You have a bright future ahead of you. Thank you so much, I replied, feeling a renewed sense of confidence. It means the world to me to hear that, especially since my family doesn't support my dream. She placed a hand on my shoulder, her eyes filled with understanding. Sometimes, our loved ones can't see the potential we see in ourselves. But it's important to follow your heart and chase your dreams, no matter what obstacles you may face. Her words resonated with me, and I knew that I was on the right path. Although my family had disowned me for pursuing my passion, I was determined to prove them wrong and carve my own path in the world of music. In the weeks that followed, I continued to perform at local venues, building a dedicated fan base and earning the respect of fellow musicians. I began to gain recognition in the local music scene, and eventually, I was offered a recording contract. As I signed my name on the dotted line, I couldn't help but think of my family. I wished they could see how far I had come, but I knew that I didn't need their approval to be happy. My success and the love of my fans were enough to sustain me, and I was content with the life I had chosen. Several months had passed since my performance at the local music festival, and my career had started to gain momentum. I knew that the time had come for me to face my family once again, hoping to find a way to mend our relationship without sacrificing my dreams. I invited them to my small apartment for dinner, feeling both nervous and hopeful about the upcoming confrontation. As we sat down to dinner, the tension in the room was palpable. I knew that this conversation would not be easy, but I had to try. "Mom, Dad, I want to talk about my music career and our relationship," I began, my voice shaky but determined. "I know you disapprove of my choices, but I want you to understand how important this is to me." My father sighed, his face hardening. "We've been over this before. You're throwing away your future for a pipe dream. It's irresponsible and foolish. I could feel my emotions rising, but I tried to remain calm. I understand your concerns, but I've been working hard and making progress in my career. I've been offered a recording contract, and my fan base is growing. This is my dream, and I'm willing to fight for it. My mother's eyes filled with tears as she spoke, her voice trembling. We just want what's best for you, and we can't bear to see you struggle and suffer. We're afraid that you'll end up with nothing if you continue down this path. My brother chimed in, his tone cold and dismissive. You've always been stubborn and headstrong. It's time to grow up and accept the reality of the situation. The conversation grew more heated, and it became apparent that we were at an impasse. My family could not accept my choices, and I could not give up my dreams. My father finally stood up, his voice firm and resolute. If you insist on pursuing this career, then you can no longer be a part of this family. We cannot support you in this reckless endeavor, and we will not stand by and watch you ruin your life. My heart shattered as I listened to his words, but I knew that I had to stand my ground. If that's the way you feel, then I have no choice but to accept your decision. But please know that I will always love you, even if we can't see eye to eye on this. With that, my family left my apartment, the sound of the door closing behind them echoing through the empty space. I felt a deep sense of loss, but I also knew that I had to continue following my dream, even if it meant doing so without my family's support. In the weeks that followed my disownment, the emotional pain and loneliness weighed heavily on me. I tried to focus on my music, but I couldn't help but think of my family. One evening, after a particularly tough day, I called my best friend, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. How are you? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Fine, but you don't sound too good. What's wrong? She replied, her concern evident. I sighed, letting the tears flow. It's just, I miss my family so much. I can't believe they're not a part of my life anymore. Sarah's voice softened. I know it's hard, but remember why you're doing this. You're following your dreams, and that's something to be proud of. Your family will come around eventually. Even though I have signed a recording contract, money is one of the problems I need to deal with. Without my family's financial support, I struggled to make ends meet. One day, my bandmate, Jake, noticed my stress and asked me about it. Hey, what's going on with you? You seem really stressed lately, Jake inquired, his brow furrowed with concern. I hesitated before admitting, honestly, I'm having a hard time financially since my family cut me off. It's tough to cover all my expenses. Jake nodded thoughtfully. I get it. We've all been there. Why don't we all pitch in and help you out? We're a team, after all. Despite the challenges, I refused to give up on my dream. I was determined to prove to myself, and my family, that I could succeed. I dedicated myself to my music and continued to perform at local venues. During one such performance, a fellow musician, Lily, approached me. Hey, I've seen you perform a couple of times now, and I just wanted to say that your passion really shines through. Don't give up, no matter what obstacles you face, Lily said, her eyes filled with encouragement. Her words inspired me, and I thanked her for the support. I appreciate that, Lily. I won't give up. This is my dream, and I'm determined to see it through. As my career progressed, my hard work began to pay off. My fan base grew, and my music gained traction on streaming platforms. One day, I received a call from a promoter I had met at one of my shows. Hey, I've been listening to your music, and I think you've got something special. How would you like to open for a well-known band at a big venue next month? The promoter asked excitedly. My heart raced at the opportunity. Absolutely. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for believing in me. As I continued to forge my path in the music industry, the support from my fans and fellow musicians helped fill the void left by my family. I knew I had made the right choice in pursuing my dreams, and I was determined to prove that I could achieve greatness. One day, as I was working on my latest album, my manager called me with some exciting news. Hey, guess what? A major record label has heard your work and they're really impressed. They want to sign you and help take your career to the next level, he exclaimed, barely able to contain his excitement. I felt a rush of joy and disbelief. You're kidding. That's incredible. I can't believe this is happening. We've got a meeting with them next week. This is your big break, and I know you'll knock it out of the park, my manager said confidently. After signing with the major record label, my career skyrocketed. My music reached new audiences, and I was able to perform at bigger venues and collaborate with well-known artists. My songs are played on the radio. Finally, all my blood, sweat, and tears are paid off, but I still felt something's missing. I don't know. I just want to share my success with my family, and I missed them. One day, as I was walking through the park, I spotted my sister, Emily, sitting on a bench with her young daughter. When everything happened, she was still at school. I hadn't had a chance to say goodbye to her when I left my home. My heart clenched at the sight of them, and I hesitated, unsure if I should approach her. Taking a deep breath, I decided to take the chance. Hey, Emily, I called out tentatively as I approached her. She looked up, her eyes widening in surprise. Oh, hey, she replied, her voice guarded. I glanced at my niece, who eyed me curiously. This is Lily, right? She's grown so much. Emily nodded, a hint of a smile on her face. Yeah, she's growing like a weed. There was an awkward silence before I continued. Listen, Emily, I miss you and the family. I just wanted to say that I hope we can reconnect someday. She looked away, her expression conflicted. I don't know. It's complicated. But I'll think about it. A few weeks later, I received a phone call from my mother. My heart raced as I answered the phone, unsure of what to expect. Hi, Mom. How are you? I asked nervously. She sighed, her voice wavering. I'm okay. I just wanted to say that I heard your song on the radio the other day. It was beautiful. Tears welled up in my eyes. Thank you, Mom. That means so much to me. There was a pause before she continued. I can't say that I fully understand or agree with your choices, but I can see how much you've accomplished. I don't want to lose you completely. Maybe we can try to find a way to reconnect. My heart swelled with hope. I'd like that, Mom. I really would. Over the next several months, my family and I slowly began to rebuild our relationship. We had many difficult conversations, but with time, understanding, and patience, we gradually found common ground. One evening, as we gathered for a family dinner, my father spoke up. I have to admit, we didn't understand your passion for music, and we were scared of the unknown. But you've proven that you're dedicated and capable of achieving great things. I'm sorry for not being more supportive, my father said, his voice filled with sincerity. I smiled, feeling the weight of their disapproval lift. Thank you, Dad. That means a lot to me. I hope we can continue to mend our relationship and support each other moving forward. As we sat around the dinner table, sharing stories and laughter, I realized how much I had missed my family. My journey had been difficult, but it had led me to where I needed to be. With my family's love and support, I felt stronger than ever, ready to face the challenges that lay ahead as I continued to follow my dreams. As my success grew, I made sure to share it with my family, who had become my biggest supporters. One evening, after a sold-out concert, I sat backstage with my parents, Emily and Sarah. "I can't believe how far you've come. We're so proud of you," my mother said, tears glistening in her eyes. My father added, "Your dedication and hard work have paid off. I'm glad we've been able to support you through this journey." Emily grinned at me. "I always knew you'd make it big. You've got the talent and the determination." I felt overwhelmed with gratitude. "Thank you, all of you. Your support means everything to me." As I reflected on my journey, I realized how much I had grown both personally and professionally. I had faced countless challenges and setbacks, but through determination and the support of those who believed in me, I had achieved my dreams. Most importantly, I had learned that I didn't need my family's approval to follow my passion, but their support made my success all the more meaningful. Sitting in my dressing room, I took a moment to savor the feeling of contentment that washed over me. I knew there would be more challenges and obstacles ahead, but I also knew that I had the strength and resilience to face them head-on. No matter what the future held, I was ready to embrace it, knowing that I was living a life true to myself and my dreams.